I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. ...2018 Mercedes AMG
GTC Roadster.
Yo, send it?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta lick the stamp and send it.
Oh my God. Did this just set the record for most obnoxious, best sounding exhaust ever of all time?
Yeah, this sounds amazing. I think AMGs are officially my favorite exhaust sound out of any manufacturer. For reference for the whole video, Jacob is in the silver one and Yuri is in the black one. Oh, that exhaust, like downshift, upshift, downshift, pop, pop, pop. Oh, yes.
So these are the craziest exhausts. What's powering the exhaust?
A twin turbo 4-liter V8.
550 horsepower and 502 pound-feet of torque.
Because these are the GTCs, so these are the fastest roadsters you can buy. You can get the AMG GT, but we opted for the GTCs. Yuri, why did we get 2 of them?
Because filming 2 is a lot more fun than filming 1.
Would you guys click on a video with 1 or 2? That's what I thought.
Also, we bicker a lot, so if we don't get even amount of time in cool cars, we get really mad at each other.
So these are pre-production models. They're very close to final spec, so there may be some differences when you drive yours, because I hope you buy one of these because I want to buy one.
So there's a lot of AMG GTs. Where does this sit? Because I know there's the GTR, the GTC, the GTS.
So for next year, there's actually going to be a GTS Roadster. So this is the fastest Roadster you can buy. If you want a coupe, then you can also get the GTR, which we drove at the AMG Performance Tour.
Since this is the AMG GTC, it has a wide body, right?
Yes, this basically has the AMG GTR wide body kit, which is just perfect. This car is so wide. I actually looked up the specs because I wanted to know. It's over 2 meters wide. It almost takes up a whole lane.
Is this almost a Ford Raptor width?
That's a good point. Let us know in the comments because I didn't have time to look it up.
Okay, let's get to the real meat and potatoes of these 2 cars. Pop, 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 pop.
We are officially the most annoying people on the road, and it feels so good.
I love how this car pops. It's honestly the craziest.
All we've been doing is driving like that, on and off the throttle, non-stop, in second gear, not speeding whatsoever, just pop, pop, pop.
I have scared so many people. I'm pretty sure I gave a Chihuahua a heart attack.
So we recently had the GLA 45. If you're gonna compare this to a gunshot, that's basically like a little 22 or maybe a little pistol. This is a shotgun shot to the face.
Going through a tunnel, you are gonna destroy everybody's eardrums, and it's so nice.
Sorry, what's that, Yuri? Couldn't hear you over my exhaust shotgun.
Going through a tunnel, destroy eardrums. Another reason we both got GTCs is because we love to squat up in cars.
Oh, squad goals? This is squad goals 100%.
You drive around in 2 of these cars, people notice.
I'd like to say that this is my favorite one, right off the bat. Out of any AMG GT, this is my favorite one. I would take this over all of them. The GTR is amazing, but this, the sound experience, I'm done. This is it. This is dream car.
Nah, I'll take a GTR because I always want the coolest and best one.
I totally get that, but I've officially made up my mind I would take this one just because of the open air experience and that exhaust.
Okay, quick question before we continue on with the review. This or the McLaren we just reviewed?
I would actually take this. I know everyone's gonna disagree with me, but I would take this. This has a ton of power, but I find that it's usable on the road.
I found you get way more attention than the McLaren compared to this. Pretty much nobody looks at this except for other guys in convertibles. I got a thumbs up from a guy in a Miata today on the highway driving top down.
I did notice a lot of people looking at me in this, but not as much as the McLaren. This is still a supercar, and you can fight me to the death on that. This is officially the most badass convertible roadster you can buy.
I can kind of agree with that. Okay, let's get more into the power.
Power delivery is so linear in this twin turbo V8, it does not feel turbo. It's so fast, but I appreciate how linear it is because it's so predictable.
Yo, Jacob, is there any turbo lag down low?
There is no turbo lag at all down low, nothing. You get full torque from 1900 RPM and you're just gone, all the way to redline.
It's almost too much torque. Like, you need to have good tires and your tires warmed up, eh?
Yeah, when you get into horsepower levels like this, tires start to make the biggest difference, and these ones definitely need to be warmed up.
And this is a rear-wheel drive car, right?
Yeah, all the power is being sent through the back. The engine is in the front, but it's actually a mid-mounted engine. So technically this is a mid-engine car with the engine in the front and the transmission's in the back, but it's not actually a transmission, it's a transaxle.
Just like the Plymouth Prowler, you knew I was gonna say it.
I knew you were gonna say it, yep.
Okay, and launching this and ripping it in this compared to the E63S wagon, it's so much easier in the wagon.
Yeah, because that's all-wheel drive, and this is actually a little bit slower than the wagon. To put that into perspective, that wagon was so fast. And what do all sports cars and supercars need? An electronically controlled LSD, which this has.
I thought you were gonna say an electronically controlled spoiler that goes up.
It also has that, yep.
Check!
I'd like to address gas mileage.
Why bother? The gauges gave up on us. Shouldn't we just give up on it too?
Yeah, we should explain that. This is actually rated for about 11 liters combined, which is actually about 20 miles per gallon. We are getting beyond 30 liters because it stops counting at that.
That's actually 7 miles per gallon for our American friends.
Hey Yuri, I think we should talk about the 7-speed dual clutch transmission.
It's very fast. It is lightning.
It is definitely lightning, but it's not Zeus.
It's not Zeus. Zeus is reserved for GT3 and GT2 RS, which we've driven on the Mosport ring.
What I noticed about the transmission, when you're driving around town, even if you're in race mode, it doesn't shift that quickly. But if you're flooring it, it shifts very quickly, lightning quick.
Okay, we've been sticking in manual transmission pretty much the whole time though, right?
Oh, for sure, just for the exhaust pops non-stop.
Should we talk about the different modes?
I'd love to. There's 5 of them. Yuri, tell us about them.
Okay, we've got individual, comfort, sport, sport plus, and race. We recommend you keep it in race, shift manually, and just guzzle down the gas all day.
We put it into comfort for about 5 minutes. That's all we lasted. We put it back into race. It was still very comfortable in both modes, but it's totally on the stiff side. This is a very stiff car.
I actually lasted a whole bunch in comfort. I took the highway here. Once you get on the highway, you can't really go any faster. And when you're in comfort mode, a little sailboat will appear when you're cruising, which drops down the RPMs even more for better gas mileage. Another thing I like about this car is that you can program your exhaust to be on in individual mode. You couldn't do that in the AMG GLA 45.
I did notice that, so you can actually adjust that through the infotainment, and you also have an exhaust button. I'd like to talk about the actual driving experience of piloting this thing for a second. It feels like you're driving an offshore boat. You're the captain of an offshore racing cigarette boat. The engine is so far ahead of you, the wheels are so far ahead of you. When you turn the wheel, it feels like the back has to catch up. The input is very quick, but the fact that the whole hood is that long feels like the back has to catch up to the front. It's kind of funny.
Oh, looks like we've stumbled upon Cliche Corner.
And time for a Cliche Corner send.
Oh my God. The way it echoes off the trees is insane.
It handles so well. It actually has rear wheel steering and a carbon fiber drive shaft.
I haven't noticed the rear wheel steering in action, but I guess you need to be on a racetrack doing a proper full send like we did in the GT2 RS. This is so nice around Cliche Corner. It's so flat, there's like no body roll, it's amazing. Jacob, did you feel any body roll on that Cliche Corner send?
Pretty much none, thanks to that rear wheel steering and the active suspension, which changes 3 different drive modes.
Speaking of suspension, I got this in my parking garage, no problem. I was nervous, you talked me through it because you're a low car guy.
Yeah, I understand how to drive low cars, as you'll see in my Lexus GS 430 update. So I had no problem with this one, but you do have to take it at a little bit of an angle.
Let's try the supercar checklist.
Do the doors go up?
They do not.
Fails that. Do you look cool getting in or out?
Very cool.
Is it fast?
It's like the fastest thing ever.
Is it loud?
It is the loudest car ever too.
Yeah, let me answer that too. It's so loud, it sounds amazing.
Does it look crazy?
Yeah, it kind of does, but it's also kind of subdued.
It is not subdued at all. It is the flattest, longest, widest car I've ever seen in my life.
I was testing you.
Okay, I passed.
Is there carbon fiber?
I have carbon fiber.
I have some carbon fiber, but you can spec a lot more carbon fiber.
Does it fit a small cup of Tim Hortons coffee? It does.
So that means it actually fails.
I don't care, as long as I have a small cup of Tim Hortons coffee.
Visor test?
3, 2, 1. Passes.
Yo! Oh my God, it actually passed? No way.
I didn't want to tell you, but I saw the little icon earlier.
Oh my God, it actually passes. Yes! Wait, so it actually fails the supercar visor test because it's supposed to fail.
Yeah, but that's perfect, I don't mind.
And what about the box test?
Show the box. 0 boxes. Perfect. Now can we talk about the stuff I love so much, the infotainment, the electronics, and all the cool stuff inside that makes your life easy.
All right, I guess. Take it away, Yuri.
So you'd think we'd have the top of the line infotainment in this fast car. We do not. We've got the same one from the C-Class and the GLA.
It does actually pixelate, which is kind of funny.
The main thing is that we don't have a digital cockpit. We've got 2 analog gauges and a digital screen in the middle. But what we can also do is set the middle screen to the AMG performance screen, so we can see our G-forces, our boost, and it'll also show your speed on top of it, so it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and your oil and your coolant temperature, which you also want on a racetrack.
When we're in manual mode, you'll also get shift lights in the middle, which is perfect.
Yeah, I really like the shift lights. That's the one thing I wanted in the GT2 RS and the GT3.
They got everything you need for being super focused in a really fast, crazy car. We've got the E-Class steering wheel in here. We don't have the S-Class steering wheel. It's pretty nice. I like it.
But we do have the AMG driver's package, which gives us this really nice wheel.
You know what I also love about this interior is this GT center cockpit.
Oh, I really like it. However, I hate mine because it's spec'd in gloss black.
Ha! I got carbon fiber and some aluminum stuff. It looks pretty cool.
I actually really like that spec for the center console.
What I really like about this center console area is that all your important buttons for going fast are right there, and they're so easy to use.
Oh yeah, they're so easy to find where they are, and I really like that the start button is glowing red. So when you get in at night, it's just pulsing at you. Just start me, just hit the exhaust.
The other buttons you have here are your race modes, which are very easy to control on the fly. You've got your start stop, traction, suspension, and on the right side we've got our exhaust, auto start stop, and manual transmission, then our volume controls.
The weirdest thing in this whole center console is the actual drive mode selector for rear, neutral, and drive. It's so small.
And what I also really like is that we've got the control wheel from the E-Class.
I really like that, and we have the little touchpad, but the touchscreen does not actually touch.
It's not a touchscreen. You can't say touchscreen if it's not a touchscreen.
All right, fine, whatever.
We don't have rewinding satellite radios, but it gets the job done because you're in a cool car and you don't really care about that.
This car is not about the infotainment. It is about the interior, but it's all about the drive experience.
You have the upgraded sound system in your AMG GTC.
And it's so loud. It actually rattles your brain when you put the bass to max and crank the volume. I love it. This is one of the best systems I've ever used.
In this black one, I do have a white creamy interior.
I have a much racier red, and this is actually a $0 option, whereas Yuri's, you have to pay for that.
And let's finish off the interior with the cool little buttons we have. We have heated seats, cooled seats, air scarf, and a spoiler button.
Yeah, and gloss black vents where the actual part of the vent is gloss black. I hate that, but whatever. Don't touch the vents.
We don't have our seat controls on the side of the door. We have them on the side of the seat. We do have bolstering controls for the bottom and the sides, and it works pretty well.
I find that they're a little bit annoying to get to because your memory seats are on the side, so you don't know what you're actually pressing, and there's not a lot of room between the seat and the side sill.
How many other people are you going to let drive your AMG GTC? Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. This car basically has no competition. Maybe the Corvette? I don't even know.
Yo, this versus a Corvette would be very cool, but it's got to be like a really fast Corvette.
Oh, I would take this over a Corvette any day.
Oh, for sure, because it's so much more rare.
It's not even how rare it is, it's that exhaust sound and how sick this looks. We should probably talk about the looks.
My favorite part about the wheels is when you crank the wheel all the way it sticks out of the front fender.
Oh, because the tires are so damn wide?
I don't think I've ever seen a car that looks like that. This has the longest hood ever.
Oh yeah, the driving position is insane. Like I said, it feels like you're piloting an offshore cigarette boat.
I think the Viper is the closest car to dimensions to this one.
The front bumper looks crazy because there's huge vents for everything. There's actually an air dam that channels air underneath the car, and it's an active one.
My favorite part about the front bumper is the grille. It looks like an angry stove from like a horror movie or something. You know what I mean?
I kind of know what you mean.
Like if there was a fire behind it, you would think it was a stove.
Oh, so just like we're showing you right now?
The best part about the front end is how they place the front license plate.
Yeah, the front license plate placement is great. Whoever did that, A+.
When we look at it from the side, the rear end smooths out. It's not like a hard back. It reminds me a lot of the SLS.
It does actually. Well, this sort of is the successor to the SLS.
Do you think this looks better than an SLS?
I think it looks more well put together. I don't think it looks crazier.
It's a good representation of the future of the SLS. Like I think they're both perfect cars for their years, and it's going to stay like that.
This is one of the most perfect AMG cars ever built because this is an actual AMG. This isn't a Mercedes something AMG. This is a Mercedes AMG.
And we've got actual AMG built motors.
Yes, we do. They are hand-built engines. Here are the signatures from the people that build them.
And we've got a carbon fiber cover in one of the cars as well.
Yeah, that carbon fiber engine cover is actually a $1,500 option.
Do you like these exhaust tips?
I love the exhaust tip. They're AMG signature square.
I really like the taillights, and I love the headlights. The headlights look amazing. The only thing I don't like is that you can't keep it in daytime running light mode. When it gets dark, it's gonna throw your full headlights on, and I want to be able to keep it with just the outlines.
My favorite part about the rear end is all the vents. They're actually all functional, and there's a vent in the center of the bumper, just below the trunk, that actually extracts heat because there's a transaxle there.
I've noticed pulling stuff out of the small trunk, my bags are steaming hot when I get them out. And while we're on the rear end, I'll briefly touch upon the reverse camera, which works perfectly, and we got parking sensors, which is very nice for daily driving.
Yuri, I know you like colors. Let's talk about the car colors.
Okay, kind of boring, black and silver.
But these are classic Mercedes colors. These are luxury colors. However, mine is not as boring as the black because this is a special color. This is an option.
Let me guess, yours is called Space Frost Silver?
Close. Designo Iridium Silver Magno.
I definitely like the silver more, and I think that's because it's kind of flat. You can see a lot more of the curves in the car, and you can see all the black in the front end against the silver.
So Yuri's black one has the night package, which blacks out a bunch of trim.
You've got a cool chrome strip along the bottom, which I don't.
I actually don't like that. You can spec carbon fiber, which is exactly what I would do.
You know, I actually don't mind chrome on AMGs. I feel like whoever puts the chrome on it gets it perfect every time.
I think that's pretty much it. We should probably talk about the prices. They both start at $178,000.
Canadian.
Obviously, we are not driving those base models. So these are both between $185,000 and $195,000.
I mean, these are like really crazy fast cars. There's not many of them on the road. Is this not your favorite car?
It is.
Then shouldn't it be super expensive?
It should be.
I'm a little cheesed that it doesn't have better infotainment, but I get it because you can't put a whole screen across.
Yeah, I really don't care about the infotainment. It's all about that exhaust sound. I actually love being the most annoying person in the world. I issue no apologies to anyone, not even my neighbors, just deal with it.
Most obnoxious people ever. So since these are convertibles, we've got some convertible things to talk about.
Well, technically they're Roadsters because they are two-seaters, but go ahead.
The top goes up and down very quick, and you can do it while driving.
Under 50 kilometers an hour.
You can also make the top go down from the key fob, and the button is so much easier to press than the E-Class.
And it doesn't take very much time. It's only 11 seconds. So I think we should finish this off with a subscription break.
The top-down subscription break.
This is the only time for you to subscribe. This is a subscription break for 11 seconds. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and patreon.com/thestraightpipes.
And the YouTube sponsor button, because that seems cool and we're figuring that out. You can get a cool little badge next to your comments. I subscribed. I sponsored. I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. This is a subscription break. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe right now. Subscribe. We didn't do that. This puts the biggest smile out of my face out of any car I've driven.
I know, man.
It's actually the best. I actually love this car so much.